PvP, PvP, PvP. What is up, everybody? Welcome to FLW Videos. In today's episode, we have some incredible information to talk about in regards to PvP in Pokemon Go. We officially got an announcement by Niantic stating that PvP will be introduced into Pokemon Go. So what we will be doing in today's video is talking about all of the features that we know will be in this actual PvP system, as well as some speculation. We'll be using some experience from the past, from the main series, to kind of determine how this battling will actually work, and then talk about just some kind of general ideas, and I'll drop some knowledge on you so you can go ahead and get a leg up in the PvP scene. So with that being said, if you do find this video helpful, if you do want to stay up to date on all of the Pokemon Go news, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So the first tweet that I want to talk about is in regards to the picture showing the battlefield. Now, at first glance, yes, people are going to be very excited about this battlefield, but I do want to say that this does indicate to me that we could actually get a new battle system as far as how the battle works. Currently in the raids, we have that kind of circular motion where you can actually go all the way around the raid boss, but this gets it to a more of a linear standpoint. If you want to see an example of what I'm talking about, you would be able to dodge left to right. Now, once again, I'm not 100% sure if this is what Pokemon Go is going to do, but this would be way more simple. It would be way more fun. It would be so much harder in that regard to just not spin around in circles constantly and have to readjust. I think that this would up the performance if we end up getting that kind of flat, linear type of battle, but who knows? We'll go ahead and cross our fingers on this. So beyond this, we also got some information as to how all of the Pokemon are going to be broken down. There ended up being 3 leagues. We've got the Great League, the Ultra League, and the Master League. These are very easy to remember because they correlate to the actual Pokeballs, the Great Ball, the Ultra Ball, and then finally the Master Ball. So as far as these leagues are concerned, we are just going to get a CP cap. We have a cap at the lowest level of 1500 CP or lower, the second one being at 2500 CP or lower, and then finally the Master League, which has no cap. I know a lot of people are going to be very interested in it, but if you think about it, some of the lower levels could actually be more competitive to that standpoint because you're going to have to make a lot more decisions. I'll go ahead and make one of the decisions for you, which I personally found very interesting when I was kind of like looking into the research of this. So a lot of people think that, oh, when you're talking about 2500 CP Pokemon, you're not considering legendaries, but those are the powered up legendaries. So I wanted to know, if we were to check out some Pokemon at level 20, are there any Pokemon that are above that 2500 CP mark, meaning all legendaries being available in that second league? And the answer is only Slacking. Slacking actually has above 2500 CP at level 20, which means that anything that you catch from a raid, as long as it's not boosted, will qualify for the second league. So you can get some incredible Pokemon, such as Mewtwo, for example, that is at level 20 instead, and be able to compete against some other Pokemon that might actually be higher level, but they don't have the CP that Mewtwo would if Mewtwo was at that level. I thought I would go ahead and point that out because I do think that that will be an interesting strategy, which could really make the level come into play, and I am very interested to see what's going to end up coming from this. So one other piece to this entire PvP situation is the team selection. We ended up getting a screenshot sent out to us by Pokemon Go displaying a number of Pokemon, and believe it or not, it ended up being 3. I honestly thought we would have 6, get to see what we were going against our opponent with, and then just select 3 from that, just kind of like the main series works, but no, we're gonna have to actually go in with 3 ahead of time. Will we be able to see what our opponent has? I'm not really sure, but even if we could, you know, just kind of like going 1 for 1, honestly, the easiest thing for Niantic to do is to probably just make it blind. You pick your 3, you both go in, and you kind of have the luck of the draw. You can, of course, retract your Pokemon, right? So if you get a bad pick at first, you can rotate over. But in some sense, it could kind of limit it down to just luck of the draw as far as the typing goes. But if you are looking for some Pokemon that I personally think kind of defy PvP, that could be a solid option, and trust me, you're probably going to make some people mad with this. Blissey's number 1. Blissey has an incredible tankiness to it. It's only taking super effective damage versus fighting. At the same time, you can get a moveset that perfectly counters the fighting type. I think it's a dirty Pokemon to use, but definitely one you want to use. And then another powerful one would probably be Mewtwo. Crossing our fingers that we will be able to use legendaries. So far, we've only seen information in regards to CP cap, but not necessarily how the different Pokemon are just kind of like labeled. So, as far as the speculation is concerned, the first one is who's going to be able to do this? Are you going to have to be level 40? Are you going to have a certain friendship level? Well, I've seen a lot of rumors associated to the fact that you will have to actually be an ultra friend or a best friend to be able to partake in PvP. Now that's a good thing and a bad thing. Keep in mind that this is just the initial rollout. It could probably expand outward later, but you definitely want to make sure that everything works the right way. But even then, let's say that you have some ultra friends, you have some best friends that you want to battle against, but maybe you're like someone like myself where, yeah, I've got 20 ultra friends, but none of them actually live near me. Most of them are just remote, just fans that send in a lot of gifts and stuff. Would I ever be able to battle them? And to me, that's the million-dollar question. Are we going to be limited to not only being ultra friends and best friends, but do we also have to be in the exact same area as well? For me personally, I would love for it to, at least at first, just be available to anyone you have as an ultra friend, as a best friend, because what that means is YouTubers, that means that other people would just be able to battle against each other once they got up to those levels. And for me personally, I think that's some great content. I think that would be a ton of fun. Hopefully it's not limited to just being local. That would kind of suck because, you know, the list just kind of gets dwindled down. But I definitely thought I would go ahead and mention it. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and end on a question of the day. There's so many exciting factors to talk about with this, and I want to know, are you excited for PvP? What are your plans for it? What Pokemon do you want to use? Definitely let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to stay up to date on all of the Pokemon Go news, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.
Hit me like a tidal wave, triggered by the aftershock. Hit me like a tidal wave, triggered by the aftershock. Oh.